guys, it's me, Kathy, and today I'll be showing you how I do my stage makeup and just my thoughts on things in general. So I know that there's a lot of advice that tends to be given about stage makeup, a lot of which that I do not follow because I don't like it. Like, the biggest one is that, like, your foundation should be 2 to 4 shades darker than yours, or something insane. I don't like that. I never have. I was in a show where we did it and our faces were like orange and it looked like they were dirt. I hated that. So what I say is use your foundation, or if you want to go darker, use one shade. Use your normal bronzer all over your face at some point. That's how you're darken it, and maybe a darker bronzer on like the outer rims of your face. I just don't believe in having a darker foundation. I don't like the way it looks, and I think just loading on the bronzer is a better look. Also, I do bake my whole face when I do stage makeup, so that'll be one big difference in my routine. Yeah, so as I was saying, the first show I was in 7th grade. I didn't know how to do makeup, so they did it for me. It looked awful. So after that, I decided to learn how, like, the basics of makeup and stuff so I could do it. And then from 8th grade on, I would do my own makeup and a lot of people's makeup. So in like 8th grade, I literally did basically all of the guys' makeup, and that's back when I barely knew anything. And then like it evolved and I did it, and like that's kind of my start with makeup. And like through trial and error, I've gotten a system that I liked. Most of my face products are going to be the same as normal. I hate this packaging. If you know how to get it to work consistently, please let me know, because I have about the same amount on the actual applier thing as I do on my hand. Okay, I think I gouged out the excess product on the inside with a bobby pin, enough for it to come out. Okay, so what makes my stage makeup different than like glam makeup is I do set my whole face, but I use the original RMCA makeup no color powder. I'm about like halfway done with this, and I bake essentially my whole face because under stage lights, and if it's a musical, you're singing, you're dancing, it gets really hot and you get sweaty, so you want to do everything you can. Everything just stays in place. Yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of this container once like you really get in there, because like shoving your beauty blender in and taking it out, the dust just gets everywhere. Yeah, don't use this if you're already in costume. Yeah, this is a very good powder, but also there is a lot of it, so it's a good bang for your buck, but it's very, very messy, especially when you get further in. Okay, so now I'm just gonna let this bake for a while. I'm gonna turn the fan back on because it's getting hot in here, and then we'll continue with this tutorial. Yeah, so I've done a lot of shows. I think around like 13 now. Yeah, so I've done Oklahoma, Big River, I did Vampire, Twinkle Toes, 50 Million Frenchmen, Lend Me a Tenor, Beauty and the Beast, Heir Apparent, South Pacific, Noises Off, The Pajama Game, Overture, Ghost Sonata, and Midsummer's Night Dream. So that's 14? Yeah, so I've done a lot. So I've done shows that took place in the 30s, the 40s. Heir Apparent is like 18th century France. So I've done like research and stuff. And I think maybe as this series goes on, I'll add installments of like, oh, and like the 40s and 50s, we also did shows there. And kind of show like how to change your stage makeup to fit the time period, because I did do research and stuff. So let me know if you guys would be interested in that, because I think that'd also be a fun way to expand this series past my makeup from the drugstore, magical makeup, and stuff like that. So, yeah. So once you let that bake set, you just swipe it off. This is gonna look crazy if you can see. Okay. So here's where we start to... The hair clip I was using just shot back at me. So this is where we bronze up. So I've got my Milk Chocolate Soleil. And what I like to do, you guys have seen me use this brush before, but take this big brush, really pack it up, get the perimeter, but also kind of, yeah, I still need my hair up. Alright, so then what I do is I grab a darker bronzer. So I've got a mini of the Chocolate Soleil Original. Let's go along with it, Jeffrey. I'm going to just put the darker bronzer where I put my normal bronzer. Yeah, see? Now you can use as much or as little bronzer and everything as you want. I just say the goal is just to bring your skin back to life in a way. Because with that level of bake, and just, sorry. So what the goal of the bronzer is, yes, to add more color, but it's also so when the stage lights wash you out, you do have that little bit of extra color to help resist it. That's why I say after you set your face, you put bronzer all over it, and then a darker bronzer on the edge, because this looks a lot better than just using a foundation that's darker than yours. And like, this has worked for me for years, and like, I've never really had a problem with it. Like, I've been doing this in 11, 13, everything other than Oklahoma, so like, it works. Alright, then when it comes to blush, I think you want a more natural one. Oh, hi Hemingway. So when I say with blush, do use a more neutral one or something that looks natural on you. So you could do something kind of shiny or matte. And it's okay with stage makeup to just go a little heavier than you normally do. Don't make yourself look like a clown. Okay, so at this stage, one thing I tell you, and I tell everyone, the brows are one of the most important things. And if you're blonde, it is one of the first things that are going to be washed out, because we had a blonde lead a bunch of years, so I would always do her eyebrows or have someone do her eyebrows. And sometimes I have done my brows like a little bit darker than I would normally, but like, don't fear like having strong brows on the stage, because it'll look pretty normal. There we go. Alright, so with highlight, my general rule of thumb is have it light, have it be subtle. If it's a magical character, I say you can kind of pack it on if you want to. But for a normal everyday character, I say don't. So I've got my Laura Geller French Vanilla. There we go. Oh, I need to contour. There we go. Oh, I need to contour. Here we go. There we go. So I wish I was able to like show you guys what this would look like with stage lights, but I don't have any. So maybe at the end, if I could find them, I'll show you guys like the makeup I've done for different shows. Okay, I'm adding a little more highlight just because I like it, but it's still a pretty chill one. It's the one from the Anastasia contour kit. Okay, so for your average character, I say I do pretty average, basic eye makeup. I think colors and stuff can be determined by the character. So I think this is like my standard, I guess, when I have like a normal character. So like when I was Belinda in Noises Off. Okay, so I have used all these shades before. We're going in with Wake Up Call. Okay, so I have used all these shades before. We're going in with Wake Up Call. Step one. So what are your guys' favorite characters you've ever played? Or like what's a dream character you have? Like definitely my favorite play was Noises Off in Belinda, as Belinda, just because it's a very hard show. Like my teacher showed me a review because a professional theater was doing it, and it was like some argued that the second act is one of the hardest pieces of theater that has ever been written, and my character was almost never off stage in that act. And like going to college theater kind of changes the confidence or like the faith in yourself that you had. And like that show is one that I haven't lost it in. Like I know I did a good job in that very difficult show. And like I rise to the challenge in every way that I could. And like my friends know that this show is the show I flex all the time. Partly because like everyone else can be like, oh, I was this lead, I was this lead, I was this ingenue, I was that, and I was like, no. We did Beauty and the Beast, I was the wardrobe. Like, I'm not one of the girls that come around being like, I was Cinderella. I'm not my friend who was Dolly in Hello Dolly. Like, I didn't have that. I wasn't a favorite, but like, the other girl just had a better singing voice. And like, there was nothing I could really do about that. So I just did what I could with what I got, and I loved it. I don't know where the story's going, but like, oh, here it is. Because Noises Off, it's a hard show. Very few high schools do it, but like, I was the main female, like, and that's just where I still have pride. Yeah, so this look is ultimately going to be similar to the one I did for her. And also because part of the fun of Noises Off was, you're an actor playing an actor in the show. So it was really funny because my character was so much like me. Like, a couple seconds after her first entrance, she's like, oh, I love rehearsals. Don't you just love rehearsals? And like, that's me. Like, she just adored theater. When things went wrong, she tried to keep a smile on her face. She did like the best she could for everyone, and just like, there were moments where our director was like, every other character on the stage realizes in the third act that this show's a disaster and there's no saving it. Belinda's still putting in her all to try to make it work, to try to save it, even when you had 3 burglars, the doorknob was coming off and stuff like that. in a way, I'm kind of one of those, in a way, oddballs, because there are people that, like, prefer musicals over plays. I love them both, like, equally. I mean, my high school, we did farces. So we did comedies. So, like, that became, like, my strong point. And, like, I liked plays. Like, I love the singing and dancing. And it's like, I'm working my butt off on my voice because at my school, there are 2 majors. There's musical theater and theater performance. I'm theater performance. I've auditioned twice. But what the feedback improved. The first time they were like, work on your voice, re-audition. The second time they told me I have a good voice. I just need to work on training it and controlling it, and strongly encouraged me to audition again. I got a new voice teacher. I'm working my butt off because I want this so much. And like my new voice teacher, we were working and we were laughing and we were having fun, and she was like, you have leading lady material. And like that took me back because I always felt like I had that, but no one ever really leaned towards to seeing that in me. And like, just to have someone else be confident enough in seeing that in me. And she's like, you listen to me and I will get you there. I had a point. I forget what it is. Okay, so now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna use one of my favorite eyeshadows ever. It's Lancome Color Designs 122. All that brightens. This is actually my second one of it, because I go through it a lot. Yes, I wore that when I was Belinda, because I got a pic, and they're like, okay, like, that's my dad. You get stage makeup, but like, as like a normal person. So there's that. So, you know, as I normally say, like, repeat stages as you go and stuff. So usually by the time I have my eyes done, I add more bronzer. And it's gonna come together a little bit more. That just went straight into my hair. Oh my goodness. Okay, so we're gonna go in with eyeliner. Here we go. Yeah, so you go in with eyeliner. And what I do is for this look, I didn't do an actual wing. I just did the thinnest line of liner just to help define the lines of my eyes. And a lot of people, like, you can do false eyelashes if you want. I do them occasionally with stage makeup, but I'm lucky that I have long eyelashes. I usually just curl my lashes and pile up a lot of mascara, and I get a similar effect. Oh, let me set my face first. Yeah, so I use a lot of setting spray. Then usually, I'm not going to do this because I'm going to take this off when I'm done filming. But once it dries, I'll powder it and set it again, just to really make sure it kind of sticks in there. There we go. Curled it, and then we'll go in with the IT Cosmetics. There we go. So if you are going to do eyelashes, I say use some pretty natural looking ones. I have a photo of the ones that I'd recommend. They were actually the first eyelashes I ever used. So I recommend, here they are, the Allure Naturals Collection 020. Or just really basically anything from the natural, because you don't want your eyes to be like that crazy unless there's a reason. So like the craziest, thickest eyelashes we put on someone was because she was Belle. In the end, she was a princess. And like, yeah, usually I use Better Than Sex or one of its dupes. My camera turned off because I've been talking so much while filming this video, but I'm almost done. So now when it comes to lips, I would recommend either a liquid lip or something that's matte. Something that you have faith in, that will last, not get all over your face. So for this, I would recommend the Besame's if you want a normal lipstick, but I'm just going to grab Calabasas of the liquid lip. Also, if you have any like quick changes, I really recommend having a liquid lip, because you don't want to get anything on your costume, like, or if you have like a white costume, just kind of do what you can to eliminate the chances of messing it up. So we're done with this tutorial. The light isn't really picking up, or the camera isn't really picking up the actual amount of like bronziness that's in this look on my skin, so I guess, well, maybe it will in editing. The viewfinder isn't helpful. But we'll see. I'll put photos in, and I'll take some selfies of this look as is, so you guys can see. But this is a basic how I do my stage makeup tutorial. Let me know what other ones you would want in this series, and I'm really excited to incorporate the reason I got into makeup more in my channel and kind of reflect that. But I'll see you all next time. Bye!